Here we have the current stock market update for NIO Incorporated, stock ticker NIO. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see here, share prices did manage to fill that price gap that was created by yesterday's kind of spiking activity, this major movement higher that led to the price action in the beginning of this week. We can, for the most part, see that the price gap was filled, and then we started to see a turnaround at that point. So currently, what we're seeing, is a recent price high coming in right around 738, so slightly below this 770 ultimate price high. And ultimately, the question is, where share prices can head from here. What we're looking at here is the 2-hour price chart. So each candle on this price chart represents a 2-hour trading period. And what we can see here is that there is some overbought reading here that is showing in the relative strength index, but it's not substantially so. So this does kind of suggest here that we could start to see some additional price movements in the upper direction. But the real question is, how much longer can this type of activity last? I mean, what we're really dealing with here is some very erratic and volatile price action that has seen whipsaw activity in both directions. So, this is starting to become a very volatile environment. And overall, given how far the share price has gone here, I don't actually recommend trading this stock at the moment. This is not a stock that is included in the members only section of the platform. We do have much better options there in that part of the trading channel. So overall, I honestly recommend staying away from this at the moment. But we can look at the sort of longer term view here because we have broken some fairly significant price zones in the process. So currently, what we were looking at previously was the potential for resistance to start to unfold right around $7.35. What ultimately happened here was share prices really gapped right through this area. I mean, share prices really didn't even trade at that level from the bottom. I mean, we saw share prices kind of pull back into that area, but that's not exactly the same thing. It's not exactly the same type of event. So prices did ultimately trade through here, and we have now filled all of these price orders. But for the most part, that resistance level wouldn't be expected to have the same type of response if we gap right over that price level. So the way things currently stand, this is a price zone that has now been breached to the top side, and as we can see here, the stock itself is starting to move back in the upward direction. But for the most part, I'm not really seeing much reason to continue trading this stock. I do think that there are much better options, and those are the stocks that we focus on in the members only section. Doesn't mean that this stock cannot continue to run higher. I mean, we can continue to see share price movements in the upward direction. You don't really have any major resistance, at least from the historical perspective, until we get to back around right around $9.45. Before that, you will run into the 786 Fibonacci retracement right around $8.35. But for the most part, this is relatively clear sailing up here. I mean, we don't really have much to be found in the way of historical resistance levels up here. There's really not much going on here. So this does sort of open a pathway to some higher price levels. But I just think that overall, the share price action that has been seen here has been highly erratic, and it has occurred in two directions. And I do think that it's very easy to get caught up in the hype, and just to say that, well, the stock is moving higher, therefore it's just going to continue moving higher. That logic doesn't really work out so often, especially when you start to see share price movements like this. So, this has been a significant rally here in a very short period of time. So, personally, if I was trading the stock, which I'm not, I think there are much better options to be traded. But if I was long this stock, I would either be looking to take profits here or right around the 750 level. Currently, we're looking at share price movements at 705. So, we're not exactly there yet, but, overall, this is a lot of two-way price action here at the moment. The potential for further gains here near term is really starting to look limited at the moment. Doesn't mean it can't continue to move higher, but you just have to question, what is it exactly that's going to fuel this near term momentum? And then, in addition to that, what is it about this stock that's going to prevent share prices from sort of pulling back here and retesting some support levels before they're able to continue moving higher? A lot of this is just looking a lot less predictable at the moment. And these rallies are looking much less sustainable now that we have seen these price movements. Overall, what we really were looking for here was, we were saying that $6 was the major inflection point. And as we can see here, there was a huge amount of price action that occurred as that break happened, as that break occurred. This was, this outlook here did, identify the proper sort of breakout level here. But when you're starting to get into price action that's this volatile, I don't know. I mean, it depends on your trading style. I mean, if you like volatility, if you like sort of unpredictable stocks, if you sort of have this belief that there are stocks that are just going to completely rocket out of nowhere, kind of randomly, then I guess this stock is an option to consider. But after you see this much price movement to the top side, the risk to reward ratio really starts to become limited, and the potential for downside starts to far outweigh the potential for upward price movement. So overall, these important resistance levels have been broken to the top side. So I do think that longer term, that puts this stock on a fairly favorable trajectory to continue moving higher. But things are starting to become very erratic here, and the breakout point did occur at $6 as expected. We have now broken through that 618 retracement, which really does kind of open up the top side here for the potential to move back to 945. So I do think that can occur at some point. But it depends on how you actually want to trade this stock. Do you want to try to buy into the highs and lows? Do you want to just sort of buy at the highs and hope that the stock continues to move higher? I personally would not do that. I would not recommend this stock on the trading channel. But overall, I do think that the potential for upside here long term has now opened up now that we have broken through this $6 level. So there are some important levels to watch here. I would consider buying. I would consider the 620 level to be a bit of a better buy here. And then an even better buy would probably be the 520 level if we were to see share prices trade back in that direction. So here's the current stock market update for NIO Incorporated, stock ticker NIO. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.